So it's Sunday morning and you guys are probably wondering in the back of your mind, Carter, how the heck do I properly manage a Google Ads campaign? So that's today's video topic, and without further ado, let's jump into it. Before we get into the actual Google Ads breakdown, I am gonna take you guys along with me today. We are, I don't even know what time it is, 7:45 here this morning. We're planning out weekly content today, short form, medium form. I'm not even sure if that's a word, but we're planning stuff out so we can produce short form content on a more regular basis, and that I can send it off to the editor and make sure I shoot everything today. We're going over to hang out with the family a little bit later, and as you can all probably tell, I'm recording this on my iPhone right now, so my apologies in advance if the audio quality is bad. So I'll let you guys tag along as we do everything today. It should be a fun-filled day. So let's just start the montage of video.
I can make a change, slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, 'cause that's what it takes.
Who knows what we're gonna even do out here today. My body is sore. That pile of rocks behind me, that's today's next task. Oh, my back is already sore just thinking about it.
Get it, I got one life, I'ma do all to win it. I do what's right, push until I fall, I'm slipping to give back up. Always stand tall, I'm grinning. I got cuts real deep.
Obviously, we're doing some landscape here in the Crowley household, but the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about associated with this is doing things out of your comfort zone. So for me, like normally I'm just working every day. I'm not doing a ton of physical labor. I don't do a lot of the remodeling on the properties, but I have so much respect for people who do that every single day, every single week, morning, night, evening, whatever it is. Manual and physical labor is insanely difficult, and I give props to anyone in those industries, specifically landscaping, concrete, flat work, steel work, whatever it might be. If that's you, I give you props. I would not want to do it on an everyday basis, and ultimately that's why we're buying investment property, which I'm going to show you our #1 lead generation method here shortly with Google Ads and how we optimize every single day to get the best results. But we need to go on a walk this morning. Someone is obviously begging for a little bit of attention. Then we can jump onto the computer, we'll go through things, and then we'll get shit done. It's that time of the day, you know, we have to crack open a nice and cold Celsius. I think this is probably the one that I featured in the last video as well. So we're gonna show you guys how to properly manage your Google Ads campaign, what to adjust on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And I'm gonna show you my overview for what I do during the end of the week and then during the midweek, because Google Ads, once it's established, once you are actually running a legitimate campaign, and I've been running ours for 3, 4, 5 years at this point, it doesn't need as much management, which is very important to acknowledge. You guys, we got some mail here. I believe this is actually a commission check. Let's see if I'm right. I just need to cover up the bank account numbers. Woo! Does it show that on there? One sale. Your boy's making bank. Not having to do a whole lot, especially in today's marketplace. But we should be actually capping pretty soon with the brokerage that I'm at. I have about 5 or 6 listings pending, waiting to close. And surprise, we just had an appraisal on one of our properties come in $26,000 low. So we just have to put that bitch back on the market. So this process with Google Ads should only take you, if you're doing it on a daily basis, maybe 30 minutes at the very, very most, because what you're going to do is analyze the data, but then you want to set it and forget about it, at least until the next day, because you ultimately do not want to make more than 2 changes per day. And if you keep making these changes, especially when you're months and months in, if you're making multiple changes per week or multiple per month, it will probably screw up your campaign. Right now, I maybe make 1 to 2 changes per week to the actual campaign. And the reason behind that is because I need to give Google enough time to learn what conversions we are actually after so they can optimize for it properly within their algorithm. Let's jump onto the computer right now. I'll take you into our Google Ads account and we'll break down one of our specific campaigns for the state of Wisconsin. So we're on our Google Ads account for the Wisconsin campaign, and you can see right here that this is for the entire week up until this point. So June 27th through July 3rd. And this campaign, in my opinion, is way underperforming, and let me explain what I mean by that. So a conversion rate of 4.5% is typically fairly low. Our other ones are averaging between 10 to 20%, but they are in smaller niche areas. It's not the broad state of Wisconsin. Instead, it's little cities around the area like Green Bay, Oshkosh, Appleton, Fond du Lac, whatever they might be. But now within here, within the campaign, what we're going to go to, the first thing that you guys always need to do on a daily basis, especially when your campaign's just starting, is checking your search terms. So how do you do this? You can either go down here to this dashboard and click all searches. And right now I typically do mine by the amount of clicks that they are getting, meaning that someone clicked on one of our ads from these searches. And we can see which ones are legitimate, which ones are not legitimate, so on and so forth. So right now we can see cash offer homes, how do I sell my house, how to sell a house by owner, how to sell a house without a realtor, selling your own house, buy my house Milwaukee, cash house buyers, how does open door real estate work? Now what we're trying to do is find keywords that do not match with what we are targeting, meaning they don't have congruence between what we're advertising for and what we actually want people to convert off of, like this example. So right here, best agents to sell my house. We're gonna check mark that, and then we're gonna continue through the list because this is not something that we would wanna show up on. Buy homes as is. Can you sell a house to a friend? We'll check mark that one as well. How to sell a house, how to sell a home in this market. Berkshire Hathaway Realtors, we do not want to show up on these. So you get the gist of it. So then what we're gonna do after you go through this list of search terms every day, you can see here for the week 1 of 122, we're gonna go here, add is a negative keyword. We're going to add them to a negative keyword list, which you need to make sure to create. So now you have the list, you're gonna click save, add it to the negative keyword list, and you can see here it is excluded. So that's the first thing that you need to do every single day when you are starting a new campaign. Next, the next thing that I want you to do to optimize your campaign, we are going to see where we are overspending. So I'm gonna go to my ad groups, and let's just go back 30 days to see which ones are converting, which ones are not. So as you can tell, our conversion rate is actually a little bit better over the course of 30 days than it is 7. So generally speaking, you want to monitor your results over the course of 30, 60, 90 days. Because the small segment, the small 3, 4, 5 day segment, or even 7 day segment might not show you the proper results. And then you're going to make huge campaign changes that will ultimately affect the conversions that come in, and it won't get you the results that you are truly after. So this has changed my mind. Instead of adjusting my campaigns, maybe I just need to optimize a little bit better because we are getting between that 11 or that 10 to 20% conversion rate, but we can probably do better. So if we go into here, for some reason, we haven't gotten a single click in this category, and all of these are broad match keywords. So I don't actually know the reasoning behind that. Maybe our ads aren't showing for whatever reason, but I'm not gonna get into that too much in this video because it'll be too complicated to figure out. We can see here, the majority of our conversions are coming from 2 keywords. That's pretty much everything. We've got a phone call over here from another keyword, but other than that, these ones right here, not eligible, low search volume, same thing goes here, sell a house without repairs. If we were getting a ton of clicks and 0 conversions, then I would be somewhat concerned. But something to realize right now is if I go into here, right now on these 2 keywords, these are our best ones. We have 34 clicks, 32 clicks, both of them are broad match, and we are optimizing for conversions in this campaign. It's not a manual CPC like I've done in the past because I have changed things up a bit. So what we're doing here is you can see that we've had 7 conversions at a 20.59% conversion rate. That's phenomenal. That is exactly what we want. This one's at 6.25. However, the caveat to that is I am still willing to pay $330 per conversion if it ends up in a deal. You have to realize with Google Ads, it is expensive no matter what, but when it's done properly, your earnings per conversion are significantly higher, typically 5 to 10 times higher than the actual ad spend overall. So please don't worry if the cost per click is a little bit higher than you think, or if the cost per conversion is just slightly higher than you anticipated. So right now, I probably wouldn't change anything. Maybe what I can do is optimize my actual ad set to get a higher conversion rate or a higher click-through rate. But let's see right here, we're at 8.81 click-through rate, 7.11. Both of these are very good for broad match keywords. Again, nothing that I really want to change overall after looking at the broad overview. So let's just check out the We Buy Houses campaign and see what we're doing here. So right now, 2.5 conversions. I'm not even sure how that's possible. They count a half conversion. Right here, 3 conversions. Conversion rate, 20.83. This one's 42.86. Honestly, they're both doing phenomenal. But let's check out these other ones. So we've had 6 clicks, 5 clicks, 3 clicks. These are all obviously these are fairly similar keywords, but should I be worried about this? If I was spending more than, if I look at this keyword, if I was spending more than $9.84 per click and I had 0 conversions, say it was averaging $44 per click, I would be very, very concerned about this keyword. But I've only spent $60 in an entire month. So I'm not gonna shut anything off. I'm not gonna change anything. Maybe like I said before, I'm just gonna optimize the actual ads that people are seeing in hopes that that will bring us in better results. And what I wanna touch on before I hop off my computer is if you're running a manual cost per click campaign, which I highly recommend when you're just starting out to build conversion data, you need to pay attention to your search impression share and your search absolute top impression share, which we'll jump into right now. So my search impression share on these campaigns for the last 30 days is right here. 40% for this ad group, 43% for this one, which isn't the best. When I was running a manual cost per click campaign, that was significantly higher. I shot between 60 to 80% because I wanted to show up on more search results. But when the algorithm starts optimizing, it sometimes changes things up so you just show up on the quality results versus the quantity. So with the absolute top impression share, this tells you what percentage of the time your ad is actually shown in that #1 position, like 1 of 1. And you can see here on my campaign that for our Wisconsin, our broad statewide audience, we're only showing up 16% of the time in that #1 position, and then 20% of the time for this case. And what that typically comes down to is the relevancy of your ad and also the amount of budget that you have to spend. So right now you can see we're spending $80 per day, which is not a small amount. That's quite a bit of money. However, there are people who are spending more money than that. And we're also competing against the more localized campaigns that might just be targeting the smaller cities or the more niche cities like Milwaukee or Racine or Madison or Columbus or Beaver Dam or any of those communities. So when we're competing with those, they typically rank #1 more than we do just because it's a more relevant term. We're more so advertising as a statewide home buyer in these particular ads. But other than those items, I would not change anything as of right now. I might play with the campaign a little bit, try to add some more keywords that are relevant, that show up in our search terms. But normally the biggest thing is diving into that search terms report every single day, making negative keywords, adding other keywords if necessary, and adjusting your bids if you're doing manual cost per click bidding. Now, I hope you guys got value from this little quick tutorial on what I do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis for my Google Ads campaigns. And if you did, just smash the like and subscribe button. It does help grow the channel. And also, if you want free access to my Google Ads Masterclass, it's just a course that I put together over 30 days. Go to cartercrowley.com. Fill out the form there and you'll get granted immediate access to the platform. And if I can do anything to help you with your campaign, just of course feel free to email me. We're at the parents' house. We're gonna celebrate 4th of July a little bit early today because it's supposed to be crappy tomorrow. I'm gonna just go enjoy the pool. And if you guys have interest in learning a little bit more about Google Ads, click and watch the video right here where I break down the entire system and process for how we run it. But peace, I'll see you in the next video.